Alright, so welcome to my walkthrough videos. This time I'm playing in the Panzer IV, and I don't know which version it is. I think the H version. It's with the 75mm cannon and the spaced armor on the sides. The spaced armor was used in World War II against American bazookas, for instance, and explosions. That's what the spaced armor is for. Still used today on the light tanks, like I think BTSV or something like that. I don't know. BTSV. It's a Russian light tank. You can have it in battlefield or something like that, and there's kind of the same as the Germans used in World War II, only that it's a kind of rooster, and this is just a whole chunk of metal, but it's not necessary to put that whole chunk of metal in because bazooka rounds are still, well, you you spare some weight, and that's why they use the rooster instead of a whole plate of armor. But the plate of armor here, that spaced armor there, what's added around the turret and around the sides, are pretty handy against explosions. Like for instance, if somebody drops a bomb near you, you are happy that you have that spaced armor, because sometimes it really saves your lives. So that's it about the tank. The gun itself is quite good. It's the same as the previous one. The battle rating is also just 0.3 higher. The only difference is that this tank has space armor and the other one doesn't. The gun itself, it's a pretty good gun. It can deal a lot of damage, but it doesn't have a lot of penetration with its armor piercing rounds. So I still haven't unlocked that APCR on this tank. I actually skipped this tank. I got straight to the Panther by playing my tire. So I probably have something unlocked on this tank. But it's quite fast also. It switches gears very easily. It doesn't drift that much as the previous one. It's a pretty good tank. I like it, especially when you use it in a squad like me. What I'm doing now with other guys. I'm in a platoon or a squad, depends on what you like. With other people from my clan, and it really in the first part of my I lost this tank, and then I hopped into another tank, and there I got all my kills with. But in the first live, you will see that there are a lot of teamwork between me and that other guy, and that's how you actually have to play tanks. The tanks where you're going against are mostly, I think the maximum tanks where you're going against are T-34 85s and IS-1s. No, the IS-1s, they're pretty dangerous tanks and also very difficult to take out because they have lots of armor in front. So if you see an IS-1, try to avoid it, or try at least to flank it, because you're not going to kill it frontally. Plus, if you shot, he's going to take you out with the first shot. I mean, this tank has quite some armor, but it's not invincible. The armor is enough to burn some shells of T-34s or something like that, but the armor itself is not great at all. Mostly shots will penetrate, and mostly if people shoot at you, you will be a one-shot, one-kill. The space armor is just good against explosions like bombs and high explosive shells. I think KV2s, you don't really see them. But anyway, in this map I was playing with my squad again, what I told before, and I got 6 kills. Basically I got 5 on my own. Yeah, that's not something to brag about, but I carried my team through the battle because I had 6 kills, and the second place was towards my squad member, and he had 1 kill. I made 6 kills. This was a really intense match. So here is where the teamwork starts. We both saw that there was a T-34 spotted the last time we looked, and we are like, normally I wanted to hunt that IS-1, but I couldn't find that IS-1, so I was like, let's go up the hill and try. Maybe we see some more tanks that are stationary here, maybe camping. It's typical Russians. Oh, there we go. There we got a T-34 57. Normally it should be an easy kill. Shot my first one, wounded this gunner, and I think I didn't see the other one. But anyway, he got him. Then I got a surface unit, and he said to me like, move forward, and I was like, why? And suddenly there was an ice one spotted. That ice one, what I want to hunt, suddenly was hunting me. And here's where I died. This is where the flaw of the gun comes from. That the penetration is not that good on this gun. I mean, so I'm driving around the corner, I thought he was going up the hill, and there we go. I stopped in time, I shot my first shell, and it bounced, and he got me killed. Yeah, so the penetration, people say that armor piercing wounds are better than APCR, and it is better than APCR, but APCR has more penetration, and as long as if you have more penetration in a more armored tank, like, oh, here got a nice kill. My teammate was complaining that he couldn't take out the T-34-57 and just took one shot at its turret and he was dead. But the APCR, how the shells worked, I think I already explained that, but the armor, like for instance your tank is built on parts. And if a shell penetrates, it goes through your tank, hitting all the kinds of modules. But there is also armor on the back. Now if you have a lot of penetration, the armor just will go straight through the second part of your tank. So I mean like the back of your tank. So the shell penetrates your frontal armor, like for example with armor piercing wounds. And the armor piercing wounds doesn't have enough penetration to penetrate the back of your tank, of the enemy tank. So what it does instead of going through the back of your tank, it bounces in the tank because it can't go anywhere. And by that, it causes a lot of critical hits. With APCR, the penetration is so high that it will just cut right through the second part of the tank that's on the back. And it will hit some modules on its way, but it will not bounce off, and it will not bounce in a tank, and it will not deal that much vertical damage. Now that's how APCR and AP shells work. Normally you have enough penetration with armor piercing wounds. So what I suggest is like stock up like, for example, 8/10 of armor piercing wounds, 1/10 of high explosive wounds, and 1/10 of APCR in case that there was something big coming towards you, like an ice one where you really need all the penetration that you can get to penetrate them. This also depends on what kinds of caliber you're using on your gun. Like for example, if you're using a 50mm cannon and you're shooting armor piercing rounds, the armor piercing rounds will even do less damage than a 75mm or 122mm gun. So if you're shooting a very low caliber gun, I'd suggest to load up some armor piercing rounds instead of APCR. So there we got an T-34 in front of me. I was like, how am I going to destroy that one? Well, I think he's AFK, don't know, or he had a critical hit or something like that. But he didn't shoot back at me. The reason why you saw a cut throughout the video, because I was capping the zone, but there was constantly that same ice one what was hunting me suddenly moved up and he was constantly stalking me. And I said to my team like, well, can you please help me, can you at least distract that one until he finally dive bombed on that ice one and took him out with his bombs. So that was very lucky. Now that ice one finally is taken on, I can finally do something here in the battle. So I got that kill on the T-34 there, and I saw that the T-34, there we go, lead up my shot. Kill this loader, kill this engine, he's on fire, he's dead. So next tank, who's next? I already got 4 kills. There we go. There we go, the one spotted. There's still 2 tanks left, what I saw from looking at the stats of the game. So took out this loader, so normally it should be no problem anymore. I thought he was coming up the hill and I can just shoot him from here, but apparently he did not. And I suddenly saw that there was something spotted on the white sand of the rock here, around the heavy cruiser. There we go, there he is. He's on the island. And I was like, what am I going to do here? I'm just the only one left, together with my squad mates. But that's it. And they still have, I think, 3 or 1 tank, I don't know. So it's pretty even. I am very lucky that I bounced that shell. That could have been my death. Normally, if people shoot at you, you will be dead in no time. In this tank, it only takes one shot to blow you up. It's not like a tire or a tire 2.
I think he's drowning.
This tank cannot take any punishment. But there we go. There we have the T-34-85. This thing was a nightmare. I don't know what he was doing. He was just standing still in the middle of the river doing nothing. But he was on keyboard though, so he was not AFK. I don't know what he is doing. He's just sitting there and I don't know what his plans are. I don't know if a shell loses penetration in water. Maybe that's why he parked himself in the water to decrease my shell penetration, and so that he has more survivability. Chances of survivability, I mean. So here my teammates said like, do I have to help you? And I was like, yes, come over here, because well, there's nothing really happening here. This guy here in front is the last guy remaining on the enemy team, and it's no use to cap now, because the capping will take too much time. And I suddenly saw that there was a Jagdpanzer 4 arriving, and I was like, no, I'm going to take my shot, because I don't want to pog out. I know it's camping and all that stuff, but I don't want to pog out with this tank, because this tank can't take any punishment. This tank is blowing up in no time, so if he is standing still there waiting for me just to poke around the corner, I'm dead. This is not Wall of Tanks, where you just have a life bar. Luckily the Jagdpanzer 4 does have a lot of armor though. Oh no, it's a Panzer H. That's weird. Ah, there we go, he shot. So now I'm going to lead up my shot. Fire at his hull, but probably at bones because the shell lost penetration in the water. So in my next shot I'm trying to aim for its turret. Try to aim for the for the bottom of the turret, because if the shell bounces off, it still has a chance to bounce towards the hull of the tank, and you still have a small chance of penetration. There we go, we bailed out and we won. So that's it. We got 6 kills in this match.
Yeah, good game. 6 kills.
I thought that I could cross this river here. Apparently I just crossed it, but I almost died by droning. Imagine that you just died at the end of the battle by droning. After you killed everyone, you just drone by you just got killed by droning.
That's a good game.
I'm just going to shoot at the ship for the fun.
So there we go, we will see the stats right on the end of the screen now. If I can go to the garage. And a nice background. Alright, mission accomplished. I got 4,400 experience, that's undoubled. It's just with premium account, that's it. And you see I only have my third drive unlocked, so... I was thinking like, should I research the APCR, but I was like, I think the fire extinguishers are more handy. So that's it.